Hello there, this is Pastor Henry Fulgoso from Farmersville United Methodist Church with another video devotional. So friends, when we started all these devotionals, I mentioned early that Jesus set his eyes to go to Jerusalem. So he finally makes it to Jerusalem according to the Gospel of Luke. And since that moment, he whips over Jerusalem, cleanses the temple, and teaches in the temple while the chief priests, scribes, and leaders of the people looked for a way to kill him. And according to the Gospel of Luke, all this happened in a stretch of 2 chapters, the end of chapter 19 and the beginning of chapter 20. So here we are again. The ones trying to kill Jesus resorts to a series of questions in order to make him stumble, to ensnare him, and even to question his authority. So first, the chief priests, the scribes, and the elders asked of Jesus, "Tell us, by what authority do you do these things? Or who is giving you this authority?" Now then, the chief priests and scribes asked, "Is it lawful for us to pay taxes to Caesar or not?" And finally, which is the gospel lesson we're considering, Luke 20, verses 27 to 38, the Sadducees asked, "Therefore, in the resurrection, whose wife of them will she be?" Then the 7 had her as the wife. Now, friends, these Sadducees that Luke is talking about, they do not believe in the resurrection. They only accept the Torah, or the 5 books of Moses, as the only authority. They support and are part of the priestly family. Therefore, they're very wealthy and they have strong connections. Now, these Sadducees, according to the Gospel of Luke, they're presenting a very puzzling scenario when they said, according to Moses, if a man's brother dies having a wife and he is childless, his brother should take the wife and raise children for his brother. Now, there were therefore 7 brothers, they said. The first took a wife and died childless. The second took her as a wife and he died childless. The third took her, and likewise the 7 all left no children and died. Now, friends, I do have to pause here for a moment. If you ever wonder what the term Black Widow comes from, I think it should be that, right? Come on, let that woman alone. No, just kidding. Anyways, Luke continues. Afterward, the woman also died. Therefore, and this is the question, in the resurrection, whose wife of them will she be? For the 7 had her as a wife. Now, my friends, in an also very puzzling way, Jesus responds to them and talks about something that no matter how you interpret it, no matter how you research it, it is still something that we don't understand because we have not experienced it. We haven't even seen it. He's trying to explain with a now and future orientation. Now, what is it that he's talking about? Well, basically, he's talking about the resurrection and eternal life. Now, in order for us to have an idea, Jesus in his priestly prayer from John 17:3 said, this is eternal life, that they should know you, the only true God, and him whom you sent, Jesus Christ. Now, this prayer has a very now-oriented statement, and it seems clear that Jesus is saying that eternal life is a matter of relationship with the Father. This is something that will be fully realized only in the future, but it starts and begins right now in our life. So this is why he uses the same type of orientation, the now orientation, when he answers the Sadducees like this. Now, he is not the God of the dead, but of the living, for all are alive to him. Again, friends, I am not trying to explain it to you because this is something really hard to understand. It's a big puzzle. Now, to have an idea what he meant by a future orientation, let's take from Paul. Paul said in 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verses 53 to 54, "For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. But when this corruptible will have put on incorruption, and this mortal will have put on immortality, then what is written will happen. Death is swallowed up in victory." And again, I am not trying to give you an answer. I'm just trying to pick from what Paul said, even from Jesus said, because basically this is a mystery. Paul said it in 1 Corinthians 15:51. Look, I will tell you a mystery. We will not all die, but we will all be changed. Now, this is indeed mysterious. And again, to borrow from Paul's explanations, let's say that immortality and eternal life begins our baptism when we are united with Christ in the likeness of his death. We borrow this from Romans 6:5. But then again, their promise will be fully realized only in the general resurrection at the end of time, when we will be united with him in the likeness of his resurrection. Then again, from Romans 6:5. So friends, until we are face to face with Jesus, I guess we'll get this idea. What a puzzle, right? All right, friends, if you want to hear a little more about this, come check us out at Farmersville United Methodist Church, or you can check our Facebook page or follow us on our YouTube channel. Until next time, God bless you.